Well, everybody, no fancy production. I want to introduce myself for some of you who are watching that have never met me before. My name is Keith Taylor, and I'm the owner and operator of Arkham Effects. What I do on Arkham Effects is I make one-off collectibles, dioramas from separate figures, because I've always believed that if you take something that's mass-produced, you can take the time that they just simply don't have. It's not because they don't want to do it, but they simply don't have the time to do it. Turn it into something like this. Now these two helmets are Black Series. This is the Mandalorian Dinjarin, and this is a Death Watch that's been redone by me. I take a lot of these things to Comic-Cons. I kind of dabble a little bit in the cosplay world. Not myself per se, but for other people who are into cosplay. Now, for over 35, 36 years I've done this. Actually a lot longer. Because I happen to have been 9 years old, and the three guys I went to the movies with at the Strand Theater that night in 1977, we happened to be the first 3 tickets bought to see Star Wars the night it first opened up. And as we all know, there were no toys. You had the first 12, you got the little cardboard thing. So I had to make my own lightsaber. So I went to my dad's shop, usurped some of his PVC, and used my imagination, and came out with my first lightsaber, dualable lightsaber, and I was hooked. So I've been doing this ever since. Now a lot of reviews, they do a whole lot of blabbing before they get to it, but something arrived today, and I have to do this to tell you exactly what's going on. I was watching YouTube like everybody else. I'm a big fan of Adam Savage. There's several friends of mine in the cosplay industry. Nathan L. Andrews owns threadlair.com, and he does Lucasfilm materials making cosplay costumes, right down to replica prop room tags. It just blows my mind. And then there's Paul, and Paul's down in North Carolina, and Paul does 3D printing with me for me. So, with that being said, we are going to look at something from Xcoser. Now, I've been researching Xcoser for about 4 months. I looked at it on Amazon, and I read all of the reviews, and there's a lot of guys giving this company a whole buttload of hate. So I reached out to Xcoser, and I said, I really would like to test one of your products. They agreed to let me do a review of a new release, and I haven't seen many videos on this unless it's a 3D printed version. And if you can't tell by the title of this video, we're talking about Commander Thorn. Commander Thorn is a part of the Imperial or the Old Republic's MPs, military police. They can also be considered kind of like Secret Service, because they escorted Padme Amidala to Scipio, and that's where Commander Thorn met his unfortunate demise. But it's a Commander Thorn helmet from Xcoser, and over a period of the next couple of weeks, I'm going to do different videos. We're going to look at it today, give my idea, talk about the process, and move along. So, I'm kind of excited. Look at this. Huh. Now, one of the things that everybody needs to think about is cosplay, collecting, display. They're all different tiers of what you can do with these helmets. So when I looked at these things, I was like, you know what? And I did a buttload of research on them. These are really nice for display right out of the box. I hadn't seen one yet, so I had to get my hands on them. Then I started thinking, since I do a lot of custom work for customers on Black Series, you gotta take a bunch of stuff apart, put it back together. It's a little bit harder to do. And a lot of the electronics and stuff that comes on the inside, you're paying a premium for that. With Xcoser, you might pay, I think it's like $159 for this helmet. Okay, so it's a box in a box. And that's cool. That's cool. All right, let's get this out. Get rid of this paper. The box is already open. And but the thing about this helmet is, it's a blank canvas for makers. Myself, over the years, I've used, yep, it's Thorn. And I've used a lot of different techniques. And in my old age, I get used to that technique. It took Adam Savage months upon months to decide to use a 3D printer that got sent to him, because he couldn't figure out how to work it into what he does. And I'm the same way. I haven't done a lot of resin casts. I've done some. This down here, that's a resin cast that I pulled from a part that came from an auto parts store. But I don't do a lot of resin stuff, so I'm kind of a newbie at it. So far, this looks pretty good, but it will be a candidate for a repaint. Let's see. All right. Get hold of it, Keith. All right, we've got the helmet. We got some packing inside. That's the bag and this. I'm thinking they may have sent me a return to do a review on, which is perfectly fine, because I want to do stuff with it anyway. You don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Okay, that's a plus. All right, did you hear that? Now, I've heard a lot of people talking about the quality of the visor. That's something that, well, I don't have to do. You can definitely see a line there. I may do it anyway. Not sure yet, but we'll learn together as we go. Let me give you a close-up of this. I'm doing this on my iPhone. Now, if you'll look up in here, I don't know if you can tell. You can see this little line here. It's almost like a protective film that comes over your iPhone, and I'm thinking that's what it is. So we'll get deeper into that later. A lot of this is hand brush work, and it does look like something that they just had to put through for mass production. There's nothing wrong with this. I'm looking at this helmet right now. Oh, look. Now, here's something that Xcoser's done, and we've talked about this. They have every stinking right to put their logo on their product. But if you'll look, it's secreted away right back here, and it looks like it's just molded in, and it's very, very light. Now, when we're talking about cosplay, this is the inside. Yeah, this is a return because there's some hairs and stuff in here. Somebody didn't like it and returned it. But that's okay, because we're going to do our own spin anyway. I actually like the liner. If you look in here, it's not just cut strips. I don't know if you can tell. See how that is? That's actual material. That's really super nice. Now, another thing to remember, when you're doing these helmets for cosplay groups, like 501st. 501st has rules, okay? And they are a international club. So they're going to have some rules. And this helmet, as it sits right now, won't be passed. And just for certain little things. But it's damn close. So if you want to pick this helmet up, which I think looks better than a Black Series, the shape is better. You have to understand that the Black Series has to get their sizing different to accommodate everything that's on the inside. Okay? How important is that to you as a cosplayer? Probably not much. As a maker, you just want it to be the best it can possibly be. This is the Dinjarin. Same thing on the inside. And this is a tight bucket to get on your head. Okay? Whereas the Xcoser version, you pretty much got a whole ton of room in here. A whole ton. So you can add fans, you can add a voice changer. Folks, look. If you've been around this for a long time, I'm just going to lay it on the line. If you get a voice changer in a Black Series, it's complete and total garbage. Okay? You can hear your voice before you hear the sound of your voice being changed in these. And you pay a premium for that. You pay a little more for a helmet with the electronics. Not so much for like the rangefinder up here, okay, because that's just a small piece. This helmet is lit on the inside, and they only use 2 little red LEDs, and it's not that special. It's really not. Actually, the button's right on the rim, and when you set it on the table, it lights up and runs your batteries down. Why pay for all that? We all know in the 3D printing world, you could take the inside of this helmet out and 3D print your own internals if you so like that. But this also gives you room for the voice changer that you can get from Amazon. I think it's like $30, and it's what the 501st uses. They've been using it for years, and the box sits behind your armor, and you cannot hear your natural voice over the voice changer, and that's why they approve it and they actually recommend it. So why pay the premium here when you get it here? And you're thinking, oh, Keithman, why am I going to pay $159 whereas a Black Series has all this stuff in the insides? Folks, when you go to take these things apart to redo them, like I do, there's a lot of screws in this doohickey. This one comes down into two major halves, front and back. This one comes down to the faceplate comes off. Everything else comes. If you don't have one like this one's easier to do, but then you got to put all that stuff back together. With this helmet, you don't have to do that, and it's already one-to-one. So I'm gonna check this to see how good this visor is from the inside. You know I got to put it on. Plenty of room. Oh yeah, that is freaking awesome. Xcoser, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, I knew I was going to be happy with this company. I absolutely knew it. Your vision is unimpaired. I do not have to do this to put it on because of internals. Just, it doesn't wobble because of the lining. I knew that it paid off for me to do my research. Xcoser, I want you to know right now, because I know you're going to see this video, right? I really want you to stop and think about the offer that I made. What I want to do is I want to partner my company, Arkham, with Xcoser to put out special edition helmets that have been weathered and stuff done to them and upgraded. Y'all, I dig this helmet. I seriously dig this helmet. And if you've ever watched any of my airsoft videos, they're still on my channel. I did that for a long time, and I did a lot of reviews for manufacturers when a lot of airsofters couldn't get that kind of sponsorship. James Chan, he took a chance on me. Took a chance on me. So anyway, James took a chance on me, and we did a lot of good work together. It was a good experience. We've got a con coming up called NerdFest 2023 here in Prestonsburg, Kentucky. Live music vendors, food trucks, and some of my friends in the cosplay and the prop making community are going to be sending items out to me and to showcase them. And I'm currently in talks with Miss Sharon. I love her to death at Xcoser, to set up to where we can have several different pieces of different characters that they carry that you can pick up at the con, and hopefully we can get them to do a con special price. Okay, I am going to do a special commission to do this kind of work for you on helmets that you pick up at the con or helmets that you just bring to me, because I normally charge $25 an hour. That does not include dry time. I do not believe in ripping people off. It's got to dry. So it's kind of like a taximeter. The only time that hours of work are ticking away is when I am physically touching that helmet. So I'm going to lower that price down. We don't know what percentage it will be better than 10% off of my commission fee. Okay, and you'll get a different tiers of work. Whereas this one I've done lightsaber scarring. This one is just your normal wear and tear and rust and metal look. As far as hanging this on your wall, it looks absolutely amazing. I will hang this on my wall as it is and send those pictures over to Xcoser so they can put those photos of this on their Amazon store and on their website. Guys, this absolutely rocks. You've done a great job with this helmet. And to be quite honest with you, looking at it, I'm hard-pressed to figure out what I'm going to do to it to try to make it better than it already is. But what I was saying, if you watch my airsoft videos, you will find out that if a company sends me something and I see something wrong with it, I'm going to say it. I'm honest. And I was biting my nails, just hoping I would receive something this cool. And that's exactly what I got. So I'm looking forward to a very long working relationship with Xcoser in the future. Another thing you'll notice about my videos, I shoot them on an iPhone. I don't have gimbals. I don't have buddies that make a big intro with hoo-yah and kung fu fighting and all that. I don't do that because that's not what I'm about. I'm about talking to you about a way that you can own a great piece of Star Wars kit that if you just like it the way it is, great. There's not a thing wrong with this helmet. Now, let's talk about the bad reviews these helmets have gotten. And I'm going to straighten some stuff out for you. First of all, you hear from them all the time on Amazon. They say, oh, this right here, well, one guy at least, oh, this right here, that's molded in and that's supposed to be a sticker. No. No. This is the representation of a vent, okay? Black Series uses stickers. Xcoser molds these into the resin cast. This is what the sticker is representing, actual molded in vents, okay? Like on a Stormtrooper. Or they'll paint this on. This is an actual trench cut across the helmet and it's filled in. That's the way it's supposed to be, guys. All that stuff. All this stuff up in here, no, you don't have the screens of a Stormtrooper because if you look at the screen catches of Commander Thorn, he doesn't have screens. Some do, some don't. Don't get me wrong. Okay, because why? He never physically existed in costume. This is an animated series clone trooper. So he's not on the regular movie screen. And if he was, he would still be CG. No one wore the Cody uniform. That was a total CG character. Absolutely. That's why if you look across some of the references, you'll find a lot of these are different. These are sculpted in and then painted, okay? That's the way that helmet was constructed. That's not a sticker. It's the way it was constructed. He just painted it his way. And some guys will say, oh, but look, the paint lines are off. They're not sharp paint lines. You're right. But you want to know why? I'll tell you why. Clone Troopers, if you've watched the last of the Clone Wars, the 501st under Anakin repainted their helmets to look like Ahsoka Tano's modeling. All these guys who painted their helmets painted them by hand in the field during combat. They're not going to be perfect. They're not supposed to be perfect. And if you find a helmet with perfect wings and perfect lines and perfect this and no overspray or no wobbly hand-painted line, you're getting a non-realistic helmet. Hold on 1 second. They're made to look like they were painted by that soldier in the field, and they've done an excellent job with this. So you have to understand how these things are meant in the storyline, how they're meant to be to truly appreciate the work that Xcoser's put into this helmet. And this is the first one I've seen by them, okay? If I see one that's not great, I'll let them know, and then I might send it back to them and point out something to them. But I guarantee you that Sharon will shoot me back another one. Every single communication I've had with Xcoser has been absolutely beautiful and wonderful. They're great people. They work their hind end off, and I really do. At this point, I would be hard-pressed to say anything bad about the people that work there. They're giving you a super, super nice helmet. And they're paying attention. When people say they didn't want the big Xcoser on the back, look, I showed you. They hid it right back here and made it smaller. You can make that disappear. That's what would keep this helmet from being a 501st approved helmet. That Xcoser. That's it. And I'm going to show you how to get rid of that. Not because I don't want it there, but because I have to show you how it's supposed to look if you want to get a 501st Legion setup. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean that you can't wear this helmet with your own cosplay armor, 3D print, cardboard foam, and walk the floor. Nobody from the 501st has the right, nor would they even come up to you with that kind of gatekeeping and say, you can't come here as a stormtrooper or a clone trooper unless you belong to 501st. And if they do, tell them to pound sand. You know, you can wear this any way you want. You don't have to conform to them unless you are a member. Now, what else do you get in this box? You get your antenna. Now, I've seen some reviews where these screw into the resin. And this looks to me like it's set up to go right up in here. Yep. And it has a 3M sticky strip. You're thinking, oh man, it'll fall off. No, it won't. I'll show you why. I told you this is a resin cast from the original. Okay? You see that little space right there? 3M sticky pad. It will not come off. You can sit here and pull on this for days. It's not going to come off. It's not. So, this is actually a Mandalorian of my own creation. This is my own character. And I forgot his name. I've got it written down. But they call him the Reckless. And the father, these are the brothers, the Brotherhood. Because when the Mandalorians split on the Night of 1,000 Tears, they got split into different cells. This is the Brotherhood. This is to resemble the fallen brother. It's always facing forward, and it's on every single one of their mercs. They operate under the father, and this guy's wearing the gold, and he has achieved. He's still got some of his tick marks. All that'll come later, because this isn't about this. But I have to honestly tell you, I'm blown away by this. I really am. I might add one of these lights to Thorn. I don't know. I may not. I may just keep it the way it is. But this is gorgeous. So we got that, and it slots into the side here. And it is perfectly, I probably can't even get a half a thou in there. It's almost pressure fit. That's how tight it is. And it's such a good looking piece. Oh man. And then they also send you, it's so hot in here, a baklava. Okay, y'all know what this is. Goes on your head. You wear it, it's like a stocking cap. You wear it up underneath there. They give you one with every helmet, as far as I can tell. And I think that's just absolutely awesome. But like I said, there's going to be more videos of this to come. And I have to be honest, after 35 years of prop making, I'm blown away. I'm blown away. And I just hope that, like, with their molds, and I'll learn more as I go along in my relationship with this company, which I hope is a long one. Man. Like I said, some people may look at this and say, oh, well, they didn't paint all the way to the corner. Well, the trooper didn't paint it all the way to the corner. You got to understand, they're going to go the distance. So it's not going to be a symmetrical paint job, but this one is pretty symmetrical. But you're going to have some differences. Not even Cody hand painted his stuff. That wasn't issued to him that way. Even Gree, 501st, all these guys, 332nd or the 2nd Airborne, all of them painted their own stuff. Fives, Jesse, all those guys. It's meant to kind of go along with the way trench art was in World War I. Guys would sit around between the fighting board and paint things on their helmets. They painted images on their flight jackets. Different groups did different things, and I just love how the history flows. This visor is thick. It's heavy. It is not pliable. It's not going to break. There's nothing on this helmet that rings cheap to me. So the $160 price tag on this helmet, yeah, it's worth every penny. It really is. It's worth every penny. Where I can say, looking at some of the Black Series helmets, This one, like I said, this is originally the Death Watch. It's a GameStop exclusive, and you can't get it on Amazon for under $240. But that's the kind of work I'm talking about that I do at Arkham. I want it to look like a piece of metal, and I want the wear to be consistent. I want it to show the different stages of wear. This is the kind of work that I do. Okay? So, when you're dealing with doing this kind of work on a helmet and you're paying $244, guys, this is nothing but a Boba Fett repaint. That's all they did. Inside here, you can feel the dent, the other side of the dent that goes up here. And you can physically see, you can't anymore because I covered all that up with my own real weathering. But you can see where they molded the weathering in. Okay? Weathering should not only be seen, you should be able to feel it. When you pick this helmet up, you feel the different layers of paint, the rust, and the wear. You feel the difference between the bare metal and the painted metal. That's the way it should be. Always. I gotta say, guys, in closing, after all these years of doing this, I'm completely blown away by the quality of this helmet. You're not 3D printing it. You don't have to worry about getting rid of the print lines like I had to do with my Armorer helmet. Let me get that. Just stare at this loveliness for a second. I know it's not your ordinary YouTube video. And now this helmet was painted by I painted it. It was printed by my buddy Paul. And you can tell with a 3D print. And he did this at 0.01, which is high resolution PLA. And then I did the cleanup, I did the custom paint, and I did everything else. See, inside, it's unpainted. That's the bare print. So you can do stuff like this. You can go and try to find a mold to do resin casting. You can do just about any of the stuff you want. But why mess with it? You don't have any print lines to clean up. You don't have anything else. It's a good heavy helmet. I would say this thing's a good 2 pounds. And it's thick and it's solid. I have to research resin. From what I understand, you do not want to stand outside in this thing all day because resin is affected by UV light. Okay? Going to and from the con, wearing around the parking lot thing or around the park for a couple hours, no big deal. I'm saying don't leave this in your car. Okay? I wouldn't. Let me research it more. But I wouldn't leave it in your car. I'm going to have to start looking into doing more resin work than what I do because this is great. Damn, this is amazing. That being said, guys, tune in next time. Go over to Amazon. Go to Xcoser's website and look at the new helmets. They got a new Commander Wolf. They've got, I think, 2 versions of Cody, Phase 1 and Phase 2. They've got Commander Thorn. They've got Commander Fox. I don't know if they have Cardinal or Fire, because there's 4 commanders of these MP, like Secret Service cats. But this is one commander of one group of them. Go look at them. Check them out. If you like what you see, tell them I sent you. And that you saw the video and that it was just a great... Man, this is so cool. Oh, it's so cool, man. It's going to look better, though. I mean, I'm going to do my spin, but my God, this thing is cool. Look, I'm going to leave you like I always leave everybody. Let me get up there close because, like I said, I don't have any of this oop-de-doo stuff. I would rather put my extra money in the materials and stuff to make cool stuff. So that's why you have to deal with the iPhone. So I'm going to leave you like I leave everybody on Facebook. God bless you. God loves you. Get into it. Start making things because there's so much fun in making things. And learn how to hook up with people that make cool crap like that. I'm going to have so much fun with this company working with these helmets. Hopefully at the con, Sharon, if you see this, talk to them. Let's get some done. Let's get some sold. If you guys think that maybe say, hey, Xcoser, won't you send Keith some helmets and let him do them and we'll buy them like that. We'll pay for the helmet and his cost. Then great. That's what we'll do. Whatever we can do to get stuff like this into your hands without breaking the bank. Thanks for watching. Click that subscribe button and hang on to stay tuned, baby, because I'm making my own toys. Hey, man, that makes me an elf. How cool is it being an elf? Love you guys. Take care.